tide is full, the moon lies fair. Upon the straits on the French coast the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast, out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet as the night air, only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand. Begin and cease, and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle flowed. But now I only hear its melancholy long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really never joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor a help for pain. And we are all here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Okay, so now we're going to annotate this poem using soapstone. Soapstone, of course, stands for speaker, occasion, audience, purpose, subject, tone. So the poem is called Dover Beach, which is a beach overlooking the English Channel, right there between England and France. So let's take a look, shall we? The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full, the moon lies fair. All of this is creating an image of a dark night by the sea. Upon the straits on the French coast, the light. So the light is important because it's on the other side. So since he's looking from Dover Beach, which is in England, he's on the side of darkness. So it's important to note that he sees light, but he himself is, the narrator himself is on the darkness. Gleams and is gone, the cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. So there's still light imagery, but it's sort of like dim. It's not powerful or light. Come to the window, sweet is the night air, only from the long line of spray where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen, you can hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand. With all this imagery about pebbles being thrown back by the waves is symbolic, as the pebbles are part of the land of England, which is, as we said before, like shrouded in darkness. So the sea is rejecting the land that is touching. So the land of England is being rejected by the sea, which can be seen as sort of a great thing of nature. So begin and cease, and then again begin with tremulous cadence, slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. So with sadness, the tone of the poem is sort of established after all this, of like sort of melancholy and reflective. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean. So Sophocles is a Greek playwright who was quite famous. So this is sort of an allusion to him. And it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. So it's saying that what he's hearing now, this
sort of rejection by nature of the darkness of his land is not a new thing. Sophocles heard it in Greece, and now he hears it in England. So this sort of idea of human sadness being rejected by nature is one that has been around for a long time. The Sea of Faith. So faith is obviously important because it has religious connotations. And was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. Bright is of course more light imagery. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar. Again, the mention of a roar as up here with the pebbles. Retreating to the breath of the night wind, down the vast edged, drear and naked shingles of the world. So the Sea of Faith, of bright, of goodness, has retreated to the edges of the world, and the part where the narrator now sits, England, is just darkness and sadness. There's no great faith or great happiness. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us a land of dreams. So here, the world which lies before us, so it's ahead of them, it's not with them, it's out of their reach. The land of dreams, the land of like happiness and goodness, is not where they are right now. So various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. So all this stuff, the love and light and help for their pain, it's outside of their reach. It's in the land of dreams, somewhere they can never be. And we are here on a darkling plain. Again, the image of darkness that we saw at the very beginning about the land in which the narrator stands, which in this case is England. That it's just darkness. There's no goodness left. Swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. So here is one of the few instances of rhyming, actually, in the poem. But again, it's going to the meaning where ignorant armies, they're enshrouded in darkness. It's a land outside of dreams, outside of joy and love.
Okay, so now let's go through Soapstone. So first, the speaker. The speaker is a man of England, an Englishman, if you will. And he is quite saddened by the state of his country. He seems to be sad and unhappy with where he is. The occasion. So the occasion can be assumed to be the time at which the poem was written, as it was written in the midst of the Industrial Revolution in England, which is important because the imagery of oceans rejecting the land is sort of like nature rejecting what England is becoming. So the audience can be interpreted to be as other people living in the same era and the same like stage of civilization, so industrialized England, who are losing connection with nature. So the purpose of the poem is to reflect on the period in which the speaker is living of England and to warn others who live in the same situation of industrialization, of what the changes to the world are doing to them. Subject is the nature is rejecting and sort of retreating from the industrialization of England, which is leaving nothing but sadness behind. As he said, all the joy in the world is sort of going away, and the people left behind are lonely and sad. The tone is melancholy and reflective, as he's not like saying, "Oh, woe is me," but he's still like reflecting on how he's increasingly lonely, and the people that are living in the same land as him are also increasingly lonely as nature is leaving them behind, or they are leaving it behind. So all in all, overall it's a poem, and here's a globe.